welcome in for another
uh, midday Monday Q&A.
Ooh, I forgot to take that off. Guys, we haven't done a chit chat Tuesday in a minute. Hold on. We'll just take that completely off of there. It is not Monday midday cruise Q&A. It is chit chat Tuesday. We haven't done one since May. That's why we can't remember what it's called. Appreciate you guys being here. I hope you can hear and see us. Let me just see if you guys are here or not. Let's see here. Let me know if you can hear and see us. Okay, let me see if we're live over on Facebook. We should be. I think so. Give us 1 second while we work this out. I think we're live on Facebook.
Hello, hello.
Oh, it looks like we are live on Facebook. Welcome into those of you watching on Facebook. And let us just go straight into the chat. But let me see. Let me know if you can see in here. Thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate that. Well, guys, welcome in. It's been a minute since we've been together.
Yes, it has been.
For a cruise chit chat. I've kind of transitioned over to the Monday midday cruise Q&A, and I've been doing that pretty much every Monday. But I felt we needed to talk about Greece. So that is what tonight's Chit Chat Tuesday is about. And we have some special guests that we're going to bring on here in a few minutes. But before we begin, if you guys don't know who we are, I'm Raquel.
I'm Ron.
And we are MHFamilyAdventures, and we are a cruise vlogging family. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers. So we would appreciate your support helping get us there by the end of this year. And yeah, we're just kind of, well, I'm kind of a cruise fanatic. I cruise quite a bit. Just completed my 78th cruise in Greece. Taking a little break. I think I have about a 2-week, maybe 3-week break before the next cruise. So we appreciate you guys being here. Let's go ahead and see who's here in the chat. And meanwhile, if you're just popping in, we already have 74 people watching. So I appreciate you guys being here. But if you have not already, there are 4 links in the chat. If you guys could go over to all 4 of those channels and subscribe, not only subscribe, after this live stream, go over and watch some of their videos, comment, let them know that you guys came from this live stream, and show them some love. They have lots of Greece content already flowing out. Yeah. I think Alisa just released Embarkation Day vlog today. Bill released his, I think, yesterday. I know Edna's through Thessaloniki. And Veronica, I think you have some stuff already out there too, but we'll talk about that here in a minute.
Hold on a second. Who are these people? How is everyone going to know?
We'll bring them on.
Okay.
We'll bring them on. Let's talk to everyone that's here first. But welcome in. Travels at P&B. Appreciate you being here, Paul. Kelly Meyer says, JT Ray. Thank you so much, JT, for sending people over. I was like, we have 74 people already. Now we got 98. Appreciate you sending people over, JT. Thank you so much. Oh, TJ's Adventures, TJ's Destinations from JT. Thank you for being here. Misha, welcome in, welcome in. Maria, welcome in to you. Everyone's speaking to one another, and there she is, the original JT. Appreciate you being here. I do think I recall us having some conflict whenever we would do our Chit Chat Tuesday regularly, but I appreciate you guys coming over here. Let's see here. Just scrolling. If you're coming in from JT's live stream, we appreciate you guys popping over. Michelle PJ, Regina Smith.
I think someone's at the door.
Yeah, David Hudson's at the door. Lazy Days. All these people, we appreciate it. Shay's Adventures, welcome into you. Hope you are doing well. Sorry, just scrolling through some of the comments because we want to bring these special guests on so we can talk about Greece. On the Go with Yellow, happy Tuesday to you. Welcome in, welcome in. Makai Harris TV, hello to you. Evolving with Etta, welcome in. Says hashtag JT rating. Guys, if you aren't subscribed to JT, go ahead and head over there as well. Erica, welcome into you. Maggie, hello to you. And Felicia Hall, appreciate you being here. And shout out to all of our channel members who are here watching. We appreciate you. And if you were in Greece with us, throw up a Greece flag or hashtag Greece so that people know that you were on board with us. And if you want to hop on the live stream here in a little bit, I'll bring you guys on as well. Let's see here. Special Nurse, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see here. And Stuart, hello to you. And guys, if I'm skipping, I'm just kind of scrolling, trying to get to make sure we just speak to some people. Linda Jackson, welcome in, welcome in. Valerie says, hashtag JT sent me. Well, we appreciate that. Let's see here. Ellis McKinley, welcome in. Hello to you. Maggie says, hit that like button. Yes, hit the like button and go to those 4 links that are already in the chat, the beginning of the chat, and subscribe to these amazing channels. Let's see here. Mish Love, welcome in from JT. D says, what state are you in? I'd love to go on your trips. We are located in Ohio, but we're not in Ohio much. We're constantly traveling. So, and welcome with Edda says, whoa, hashtag 78th cruise. Yes, it was my 78th cruise since 2019. 2019. Andrea Denise, welcome in. Good evening to you. Makai saying, like the broadcast. All right. Regina says 78th. Ooh, that's a lot. It is, but it's what I love to do. And it's business. Special nurse says, I want to be like you. Tired and exhausted. Kelly Myers, welcome in. Yola D says, came from Edna's World. Nice. So appreciate you guys all being here. Maggie says, I love all the Greece vlogs that are flowing out. That's cool. Crystal, hello to you. So yeah, we have a very busy chat here. So appreciate you guys all being here. Charlene, Cruz Bolero. Is it Yartis Adams says, hello everyone and your family. May God cover your family. We appreciate that. Yes. Thank you so much from Houston, Texas.
Oh wow. I did 18 years in Houston.
You did 18 years there.
Hold on. I say it like a prison sentence because it was so hot and humid, but it was all good.
Yep. Let's see here. Sean McDaniel from Washington State. Welcome in.
Washington State.
Washington.
Do you know I jumped out of my first plane and flew first plane outside of Issaquah, Washington?
He's being facetious right now.
But it's
long story. Amelia, welcome in. Says blessings to you, Raquel and hubby. I was watching some of your highlights earlier today. What an amazing time was that? Yeah, so if you guys are just now popping in, I'm going to bring on our guest speakers here in a minute. But we just got off of, again, my 78th cruise, Celestyal Journey, which is a Greek cruise line. We've been back now a little over a week. And so we had 42 amazing people to join us in Greece. This was an official MHFamilyAdventures group cruise. We had an amazing time. But I thought rather than you guys hear from us, our experience, we would bring on some other content creators, some of the guests that were part of our group so that they can share their experience. And you guys can ask questions about Greece, traveling abroad. I think it was their first time ever flying abroad or cruising abroad. So bring questions that you may have, and we're just going to have this as an open chat. But the first 4 that we have in 4 or 5, 4, we have Edna from Edna's World. You guys know Edna. Make sure you head over there and subscribe. We also have Bill from Warm Strong Adventures. Now, Bill is currently on a cruise ship. Now, you guys think I cruise a lot? Bill stays on the go. And speaking of on the go, I think she just returned today from a cruise. Life with V, Veronica. You guys head over, subscribe to Veronica. She just got off, I think, Royal Caribbean. So literally, she got off a Greece trip and I think was home a couple days. Did you even make it home? We'll talk about that in a second. And then we have Elisa's Adventures in Cruising, and she joined us on board with her daughter, Erica, and we had such an amazing time. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on our guests. If you have questions, start dropping those in the chat. Hopefully we have no technical glitches. Give me a second as I try to bring people on. We are going to start in the order that people came in, which I don't remember.
Neither do I.
Bill, let's go ahead and bring Bill on. Welcome in, Bill. And then I can't remember. I think it was Veronica. Let me bring her on. Let's see if we can all be on together. We're bringing Veronica from Life with V.
Hey.
And then we have Elisa's Adventures in Cruising. And last but not least, we have Edna from Edna's World. Welcome in, guys.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, the gang's all together again. We're back. How's it going, everyone?
Queen of cruising.
No, you're the king of cruising, for sure. What's called? How many cruises? What number cruises is for you, Bill?
I'm a little over 65. I'm not sure exactly. A little over 65.
You're right there with me.
Yeah, since 1990.
We we won't talk about that, but yeah, you're right there with me. But welcome in. I appreciate you guys. This is kind of a last minute live stream. I said, it'd be great to bring some fellow content creators and friends on to talk about this trip. The good, the bad, the ugly, whatever you guys want to talk about Greece. But let's just take a quick minute to share about yourself, your channel, kind of what you do. We'll start with you, Bill, because I know you're on a cruise ship right now.
Well, Bill, Armstrong Adventures, William Armstrong. Anyway, I won't get into how I got my name. I just love cruising. And about 3 years ago, I decided to start vlogging. It was mostly for like families, so families can keep track of as I get older. Hey, you go back and watch Pop and all this on YouTube. But then people started watching, so I said, I can do this. So that was the start of Armstrong Adventures. But it's just from the love of cruising. I don't think there's any better way to travel and see the world.
I agree. Now, what ship are you on currently?
Rhapsody of the Sea, Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Sea, going to the Southern Caribbean. Ooh. We just left St. Croix, headed to St. Martin and St. Lucia.
Nice. Yeah, and I think we talked about this because I have a similar itinerary coming up. But that's definitely one of those really nice. I love those port intensive, and we're going to speak about port intensive because this Greece cruise was certainly that. I don't see how you went from that port intensive cruise to another port intensive because I truly am just recovering. Like I was wore out, so I don't praise to you for that because I couldn't do it.
Well, it's not easy. I felt it today.
Oh, I'm sure. I am sure. Veronica, Life with V. You want to tell viewers if they don't know who you are, what your channel's about, how long have you been on YouTube?
Oh my God, I've been on YouTube since 2016. What's up? This is your girl Veronica, Vicky or V. Depending on which given day week I'm gonna be, I'm your hype girl for YouTube vlogs, baby. I love the cruise, I love the crap, I love to turn up, like to have fun. You see me on a cruise, I'm ready to party, I'm gonna drink with you, we're gonna twerk, we're gonna dance. I'm the fun girl of cruise vlog world. That's what I think I am.
Yes.
I'm the party girl of cruise world.
And you definitely want to get on if you guys like group cruises, if you're here because you're curious to hear about group cruises. I know you have a group cruise. Is it okay for me to share that?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. You want to share your group cruise that you have coming up?
Yes, I have the ultimate Super Bowl cruise at sea, loving football, coming up on the Royal Caribbean Wonder of the Seas, February 6th through the 9th. Come check me out, guys. It's going to be amazing Super Bowl at sea. You have not seen Super Bowl until you've seen it at sea. We have fun. We celebrating Valentine's Day, and we celebrate Super Bowl. You don't want to miss it, y'all. Come join us. Stick us a room with some other.
Yes. And I just booked, so I will be on board. I was booked last year, but I had to cancel last minute because Andrew had his Night to Shine special needs prom that same weekend. But I am officially booked and ready to have a great time.
Let's go. I'm gonna have your whistle waiting for you.
Hold on, Veronica. What date is this that you're going to be out of town?
February 6th through the 9th.
Okay, I'm just writing that down.
He can try to keep track of my schedule. And Lisa, tell everyone who you are, what your channel is about, kind of, how long have you been on YouTube?
Hey everybody, I'm Alisa, Alisa's Adventures in Cruising. I think the channel's about 3 years old now. I love cruising. I think it's a great way to travel, like you said, to see the world, and usually a pretty affordable way because so much is included with your transportation and your hotel and your entertainment and your food and all that. So I just think it's great. I used to have a lot of people, a lot of friends and co-workers who would ask me like, how do you do it? Where do you go? What ship and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not a travel agent, but I thought putting my videos on YouTube would be like a great way to show people and help, encourage them to go ahead. It's not too much water. You don't feel trapped. All those things that people say is the reason why they don't want to get on a cruise ship. It's fun.
Right.
And look at these people that I've met and become friends with.
Yes.
It's pretty amazing.
And that's true because all of you guys I've cruised with, except you, Alisa, I just met you for the first time. And it's so funny because in this YouTube community of, cruisers, it's like I watch a lot of vlogs and I feel like a lot of times, like I've already cruised with you or I've met you. Like I had never met Alisa, but I've cruised with Bill a couple of times, I think. Margaritaville at Sea and Carnival Celebration.
Probably so.
I think so.
I
And
don't.
then Life with V, I've cruised a few times. I was on your Carnival Horizon group cruise last year. And then Edna, I believe I was on Margaritaville at Sea. And then I wasn't part of your Friendsgiving at the time, but I was on board Thanksgiving with you guys. So, but Edna, tell us about you. I think most people know you. Tell us about Edna's World.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Well, I've been on YouTube since like the end of 2015, and I am a life and travel vlogger. So I do vlog a lot of my everyday life, my friends, my family, my experiences, just navigating through life, but also my travels, cruising being my favorite way to travel, of course, and I just enjoy sharing whatever it is that's happening, going on in my world out there with everybody. And it kind of just took off from there with being able to meet so many people, to bring, apparently I brought a whole bunch of people together. That's all they say. It's like I'm I don't know, the leader of the short bus crew, because everybody is crazy, but we all love each other, and we're just one big dysfunctional family on this internet. But a lot of the channels and people say they are kind of met because of me, but we have formed so many friendships. If you've watched any of my vlogs or Veronica's vlogs, we have trauma bonded together. Like now one of my closest friends. We do Wind Down Wednesday every Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, me and my two besties. And honestly, like, cruising is a big part of my channel, but also I love gambling. So I post slot vlogs, my grandchildren, my children, just anything I feel needs to be in the universe is out there.
All right. Yeah, so definitely follow Edna's World. I put all the links back in the chat, so please head over and subscribe. And we have Angie here. Angie says, hashtag Greece, because Angie was part of our group cruise, says it was worth every penny. Now, Angie, in a little bit, if you want to get on and just kind of talk for a second, I'll bring you on if you like. But we appreciate you being there. But speaking of every penny, so this Greece trip. Now, first off, have any of you guys been to Greece like prior to this trip?
No.
Have you guys ever cruised abroad outside of the Caribbean or Alaska abroad?
Yeah.
No.
Prior to this.
I had not.
Yeah, I've done a couple of cruises, like 3 cruises from Australia to the U.S. So we, Japan, Fiji, Hawaii, all went through there. I gotta admit though, this was like up there at the top.
Was that I would say it's probably been one of my favorite cruises. So Angie said it was worth every penny. What are your thoughts on the cost of this cruise? I think Edna, and if you missed it, there was a collaboration series that happened before. And I'm pretty sure I watched something, and I think, was it Edna or Veronica? One of you guys were comparing the pricing or talking about the pricing of this trip and kind of gave a breakdown. What are your thoughts? So those of you who are interested in cruising Greece, taking a group cruise, because stay tuned, we are going to be announcing our next Greece group cruise in this live stream. So make sure you watch till the end. But as far as the pricing for Greece, was there anything that surprised you? Was it more or less than what you would typically pay? Kind of talk to us about what your thoughts were on this cruise as far as the pricing.
Well, before we get into the answers, I want everyone to know that I am extremely interested in this because I have no clue on what the trip costs.
He really does.
Like,
put your pen and paper down, Ron.
Right.
I'm ready.
I go really fast. It was definitely an experience for me, which was why I made that video, because people were asking me like how it was, and I'm a pretty open, transparent person on my channel. So I wanted people to see, especially because my motto was balling on the budget. So I was trying to find the cheapest things that I could do. As far as that, I think for me, the most thing that shocked me was the prices to fly. Even though I knew it would be expensive to fly, but I was like, why is it so much money just to get on the airplane? Why do y'all need so much money all at the same time to get on this airplane? like everything else, I think was pretty much about the same. To go to Greece for the price we paid for the cruise, to have an ocean view cabin, it's, for 7 days it was fine for me. The hotel, you probably about the same you're going to pay here for a decent hotel. um I also, even though I've traveled internationally, like I've flown to Bahamas, I've flown to Jamaica, so I know about exchange rates a little bit. But coming home to see my debit card and the list of fees, international fee, I was just like, but it's the
Yeah.
price you pay for what you want to do. And I think overall, I'm completely satisfied with the price, and I'd do it all over again.
Yeah. What about you, Lisa?
I agree with that. I initially booked when I booked the cruise with you. I initially was going to go solo, so I thought like, oh wow, they actually have a solo rate, and it was good. It was gonna. I thought I was gonna not come out ahead, but I thought it was going to be really really reasonable. And then I asked my daughter if she wanted to come, and she did. So that was great. I do think the prices of the flights is what surprised me. I was
Mhm.
kind of hoping to, follow your lead one more time, Raquel, and fly north.
Yeah.
But the flights just didn't work out
Yeah, they didn't.
for the time we were traveling. So I was stressing over the flights. I was talking to everybody about the flights. Me and Lagisha were going back and forth. Did you book? Did you book? Did you book? And I finally just got to the point where I had to pull the trigger because I was worried about not being able to
Mhm.
get the return
Yeah.
flight the way I wanted it. So,
We had
but
to do
all in
that
all,
too.
yeah, it was worth. I thought it was worth every penny.
Yeah. What about you, Veronica? How does this compare, the price point of this Greece compares to, because you've done a lot of cruises as well. How does it compare to like the Caribbean?
Honestly, I feel like it was cheaper because when we first booked the cruise, you told us about the price range for flights. So I had a
Mhm.
higher price range for my flight than what I actually paid for it. And then when I got to Greece, everything was so cheap to me that I was able to
Mhm.
buy so many souvenirs and come back home with spending money because I'm thinking I would spend like thousands of dollars on shopping. I'm like, everything was so cheap. So for me personally, I think I stayed under budget because you was great giving out information beforehand. Let me just say to y'all, she is great giving you information on flights, hotel, everything. She's gonna get you right. Whatever your price point is, she's gonna make sure you know, hey, wait to book, don't book now, book now, book now. So I think because you gave us that warning, I kind of
Mhm.
knew what I want the budget for flights. So you was like, it's a good time to book now. I booked and I was under my price range. For me, I was okay with the price. I definitely felt like it was cheaper than going to the Caribbean. It was definitely cheaper than going to Paris for sure.
Mhm.
So for me, I enjoyed it because I was under my price range, what I thought I was going to spend. Nothing was
Yeah.
over the top for me because I felt like we stayed in a budget that you pretty much gave us.
Yeah, and for those of you who are listening in, and we're kind of talking in code about the pricing, I'll be very honest and tell you what we paid. He knows the cost of this because we had to bite the bullet on it. We paid $1,100 per person round trip for our flights.
Damn.
So you knew that. So it's like,
Yeah.
so if you're looking at, and the rule of thumb is to book international flights 3 to 6 months in advance. You don't want to, because like right now we have another abroad trip in June, a sisters cruising abroad, and I'm telling people, hey, don't start booking your flights now because the flights are high. The rule of thumb is 3 to 6 months. So around that 6 month time frame is when you should start looking, maybe start doing some price monitoring. That way you have an idea of what the price. But I think I told everyone plan on about $1,000 per person round trip, and that's
Yeah.
about what it was. You could do it differently. Like I think last time it was less for me because I flew north and I, kind of. But by the time we waited till the last minute, so we wound up paying like $1,100 per person. So Bill, how did the price of the flights compare to like going to Australia or
You can't ask Bill a question like
Right.
that.
You can't ask, you can't it was about the same.
okay.
I
Okay,
used to
cool.
I used to work for Delta, so I fly I just pay
Oh,
taxes.
that's
So
right.
you
I
get
forgot. I forgot. We had a few people in our group that either worked for airlines or had families, so they had different flight situations. So we're not fortunate. So we had to pay full price for it. But we have Lagisha in the chat, Ellis McKinley. She was part of our Greece trip. So it was exciting. And actually, was this your third group cruise with us? I think so. And she's booked for another. And so it's always nice to cruise with Lagisha.
Yeah.
So if you want to pop in at some point, I will bring you on. I'll share the link after we do our chat here. If anybody that was part of our group wants to just come on and talk for a second, you're more than welcome to. We appreciate you joining us. But welcome into the 178 people watching. We appreciate you guys being here for this Chit Chat Tuesday, this special edition. And again, if you are not subscribed to these wonderful channels, we have Edna's World, we have Elisa's Adventures in Cruising, we have Life with a V, and we have Warm Strong Adventures. The links are in the chat. Please head over and subscribe. And if you aren't subscribed to us, consider subscribing. We're on the road to 50K. But speaking of Greece, I had a list of questions. I guess, I don't know. What question? Do you have a question?
Not as of yet.
So which port? So we visited, this was very, very port intensive. Well, first let me ask you this. We cruised, for those of you who have been following, to give you some context, we cruised on a 32-year-old ship. And I strategically selected this ship because, one, the price point. Two, because for me, if I'm going to spend $1,100 per person to go abroad, we need to take advantage and see as many places as possible. That's just my logic, my theory. I did take this same itinerary and ship last year, so I was able to preview everything for the group, create vlogs, and share all of that stuff out. But kind of looking at things now, Celestial Journey, would you in the future do something similar? Because I know there were some quirks with Celestial, and we'll talk about some of that in a minute. There were some highlights, there were some quirks. Would you, because I did put this poll out here earlier this week, would you rather have an itinerary like we had very port intensive on an older ship, or would you rather have a newer ship and not be as port intensive? So there are some itineraries out there, and I shared one a couple the other day where you might have 7 days and only 4 ports, but you have a nice new ship. Having experienced an older ship that was port intensive, which one would you pick if you had to pick one today? We'll start with Veronica.
For going abroad, I would have took the older ship because I mean, for Caribbean, give me my new ships because I'm not going to see the Caribbean. But because I'm like you, I want to see where I'm going. And for me, the ship wasn't a bother. I mean, it did what it could do. I was able to shower, sleep, drink. That was fun with me. But I wanted to see the ports. And so for me, the old ship was not an issue with me at all. And I'm ship bougie, y'all. Y'all know I'm ship bougie. Let me set it clear. I don't do old ships. However, for this itinerary, because Greece was my bucket list trip, the ship was just fine. It wasn't an issue at all. Give me an older ship any day.
All right. What about you, Edna?
Yeah, I'm the same way. If it's someplace I've never been, then give me all the ports every day. I don't really care about ships too much. I just like to go places and see things. I can have fun anywhere. So if it's places I have been before, then yeah, I'll look at a new ship. But I like a good mid-sized ship. But definitely, if it's someplace I've never seen, give me all the ports.
All right. What about you, Alisa?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, there's so many amazing new cruise ships coming online, and of course, I want to see them all, go on them all, and all the bells and whistles. I like having all the options, but this was really. I know there was quirks, but it was really perfect. It was, a good size ship. Even though it's old, I just thought that they did such a good job on the decor of the ship. It didn't feel old except for when you were in the cabin. Like it's not like super technology, inside the cabin itself. But I wanted to see as many places as possible. Again, it's a bucket list kind of cruise. Don't know if you're going to get there again, but she's tempting us. So I wanted to see it, see it all, and do it all. So I think it served that for us really well.
Yeah. So Bill, what about, I think I know the answer for you, but would you go new ship, less ports, or older ship, more ports?
Older ships, more ports. And this one, it's the cost. If you don't mind, I'm gonna tell the price what I paid. It's like $14.50 or whatever, and that's a solo cabin or solo. I went solo. It wasn't a solo cabin, but I went by myself. So let's add $1,000 on for airfare, $2,400. Now, would you rather spend $2,400 and go on Star of the Seas? It's going to be $3,000 or $4,000, or fly over to Greece, fly to Singapore, and see places you've never seen in your life. This was like a bucket list. And when you told me the price, it was like, I'm going. You know, I'm going. I don't know what else is going to happen, but I'm going on that trip.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see more places, and you don't have to do every port. I kind of messed up. You know, I'm going to talk about that later, like on my show. But I kind of messed up because I didn't go with the group on an excursion, and it taught me a lesson. Never doubt Raquel. If Raquel says it,
No, I don't know it all, but our tour guide said, "Oh, he's going to regret that."
and I did, and I did.
So Celestial Journey again, because I've had people reaching out trying to book Celestial. I've actually booked some since I've got back to go on Celestial. What is one piece of advice that you would offer about the ship, the people, the food? What is something that you would share? Oh, did we lose somebody? What is something that you would share with somebody that's looking to book on Celestial? Just one tip.
There is no app, so you need to really read the daily pamphlet that they give you every day, the flyer telling you what's going on around the ship. I'm gonna stop there. That's my one tip. You have to
Yeah,
read.
there's no technology. Like you can't even
Right.
check your balance. Like
No.
some places you can check on the television. Like you have to literally go to guest services if you want to see how much you've spent. So there's no app. And yes, that paper was driving me crazy. Because you would get it every day and it had everything that, I mean, they had quite a few things going on, but you had to take that paper with you or take a picture to kind of know
Yeah.
what was happening. So an app would be helpful. Yes.
I think I would add that as far as the paper too, I was using my pen and magic marker to convert the times because trying to keep up with the military time, I'm like, what
Mhm.
time is 17 and what's 21? Like, I'm already drinking half the day away. I got time to think about what's 21:45. Like, what time is the show?
Yeah.
So I would write down that on there. Their card, their ship card had your room number on it, which was very different for me. I'm like, I hope I don't lose my card
Right.
and
Yes.
somebody grab your card. I mean, I felt safe on the ship. Nobody seemed to bother your stuff or whatever, but you just never know. Um, and then having more, I guess, as Americans, we were the foreigners, but having more all the different nationalities and stuff and how they kind of do things and react to people. That was a little new for me. But other than that, I think the ship was great. I didn't pay attention how old it was and all of that stuff. And um, everything worked, so I was fine, except for the tub. I will say we had an
There you
ocean
go.
cabin,
There
and
you
you
go.
had to be an Olympic gymnast to get in that tub.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they were really high tubs.
They were
Yeah.
very high, very deep.
Yes.
And I was grateful that they had bars because somebody with me with, arthritic knees, I had to climb in
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like I needed a cane or something.
They're really, really tall tubs. And I'll kind of elaborate a little bit with because Edmund kind of touched on it, and I'm sure she's going to touch on it more in her vlogs. The cultural differences. So, and I've mentioned this because I've gone abroad a few times. Just people don't react and respond and do things the way that we do them. And some cultures, it's rude. Like we would consider rude behavior. Like people have no personal space. That was a big thing that we even dealt with on the ship. Like you're in line, they will literally almost take the tongs out of your hand to get their food. I recall the first day on the ship, Joe Marie was sitting across from me, and there was a lady, she was like literally right here. And she was talking, and Joe Marie's like, Mom, the lady's talking to you. I said, No, she's not. She's talking to that lady over here. And so you kind of have to know that. I mean, I probably should have said, Hey, back up a little bit. But it's just like no sense of awareness of other people's space and like lines, those don't exist. It's just so things are a little bit different. So kind of wherever you're traveling abroad, research that because I would tell you this, Greece is not nearly as bad as Italy. It's way worse there, but I just wanted to touch on that. But what do you think, Bill, if there was something you wanted to share about the ship, like a heads up or warning for anybody that's looking to book? Because like, again, we talk about a lot of the good things, but I also like to share and give warnings about what to expect if you were to cruise with them.
Well, I had playing on the app, the website was almost impossible to navigate. And well, we had on this group cruise, we had a credit for an excursion. For 2 days, I played around with that app and finally got it. And it says I'm booked for the Essentials of Santorini.
Mhm.
The night before I go to pick up my ticket, we don't know anything about it. My fault, because I should have paid more attention. I should have taken like a screenshot or whatever, but I didn't. But the app was just like, it was just one of the worst apps I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
The app, the
that,
website,
I'm sorry, the
payments, all of
website,
that.
not the app, the website and the
Yeah.
app though. I mean, an app would be nice on the ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. And on the back end side, the travel agent side, it's even worse. So you guys didn't have to see and deal with that, but I had to call so many times about it. And I think if they iron those details out and iron that, it would be so much better. But yeah, we actually had a couple others. I don't think I mentioned this to you. Same thing happened with them. And so I truly believe it wasn't a user error. I think there was a website glitch or something happened with those excursions. So to give more context, everyone that booked, they received $175 shore excursion credit with their booking. They received some drinks included, some Wi-Fi included. And so we had a total of 3 that said they went through the process to book their excursion on the website, but once they got on board, they didn't have the excursion. So that's kind of heartbreaking when you have a bucket list, adventure, and then you find out I don't have my shore excursion. Now you're having to come out of pocket. You're having to, and the rule is you can't use your shore excursion credit once you're on board the ship. You have to do it in advance. So that was an issue. So yes. What about you, Alisa?
As far as using that credit, I didn't have any
Or
problem.
what is something you would want to share with somebody that's looking to book Celestial, like a heads up, like a warning?
Yeah, I do think that you have to go with, well, go with Raquel. Book with Raquel, honestly, because she has worked through some of these kinks. And I did have an experience at the beginning. I had a problem with my drink package that I had for myself and my daughter.
Mhm.
And the process of, I didn't want to bother Raquel. She's on vacation too. I thought this is such a simple thing. I'm going to go to the desk, it'll get straightened out. It wasn't that simple. I had to call her, and she had to come to the desk and communicate with the back office or your back office to communicate with Celestial to
Mhm.
finally get it all straightened out. So the things that we take for granted, none of us probably really like going to guest services when we're normally on cruises, and we do use the app or use the screen in the cabin, but there's probably going to be more interaction with the front desk staff on
Yeah.
Celestial than you would have on other cruises. So bring extra patience if you're not able to go with Raquel, but get all the information you can from her through her ahead of time as you're
Yeah.
booking.
Yeah. Well, you won't be going with me back on Celestial because I mean, I had a good time and I was on board. I did it twice. So I'm kind of like, I've done it. It's great. I do have clients that are cruising Celestial. I might have some groups book Celestial, but I probably won't be back on unless I go to Dubai. They have an itinerary going to Dubai. So we'll see. But we have Marie. She says, I would love to go on one of your cruises, especially one that will go to Italy and France. How do I get in touch with you? Our email is, or if you go on our website, or just Google Major Adventures Travel, will pop up there. And you will actually see the flyer for our Sisters Cruising Abroad for next year if you want to join us. We do have a few cabins left. But welcome into the 189 people watching. If you are just now popping in, this is our Chit Chat Tuesday, and we are just talking about this Greece trip that we just came off of less than 2 weeks ago. We were on board Celestial Journey, and we had 7 port stops. 7. Well, we started in Athens, then we went to where did we start? Thessaloniki, then Kushadasi, then Santorini, Mykonos, and Milos. So bucket list adventure. Out of those ports, which port were you first off, which port were you most looking forward to?
That's so hard.
Well, I think I'll take this one. I'll start. So,
Okay.
for me, the thing about the cruise ship was the muster drill. That was different because I never had to put the life vest on. It was very old school.
That
So
was
I
my time doing that.
Yep.
second time. So have your patience with that one because you can't watch a video. You got to go to your deck, and which was fine. But for me, the best part was Kushadasi, and that's in Turkey, and that's, did I pronounce it incorrect?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And it was because of seeing the Virgin Mother Mary's house. Loved that.
That was a great tour.
I'll go. I was most looking forward also to Kusadasi just because I thought it was so crazy that I could go to Turkey. Like when I saw that was one of the itineraries. I don't know why it just fascinated me to say I've been to Turkey, and it was just everything. And then like when I was researching stuff to do and saw like the Turkish bathhouse, I was like even more excited to go to that for that. But other than that, Santorini also was one just because I'd seen so many vlogs and pictures and everything of those blue dome buildings. And it was like, I want to see it in person. So those two were the main ones that I was really, really wanting to see.
Now, Edna, I'm going to put a pause there. You went to the Turkish bathhouse, and when you said that, I'm just going to say that someone whose initials are Veronica had this big smile on her face. So I know that you guys had a wonderful time, but maybe that's something you can elaborate on later on.
I can tell you when Veronica was telling me what they were doing, my whole body was tingling. I'm like,
it was the best.
I'm like, I need that. But we wound up going to see the House of Virgin Mary, so
if you ever go back or look for some stateside, apparently they have them in different states. But it literally was just like the best, most relaxing experience. And you just imagine these little, barely 5 foot old Turkish ladies literally giving you a bath head to toe, like with this tingly bath soap, and they scrub you down every part of your body, and it's just
everywhere.
You just like, okay, whatever, this is what we doing, when in Turkey, do as the Turkish do. She's like, take off, like, okay. So it was so relaxing. We had massages. It was the best. I would fly all the way there just to do it again.
Yes.
Nice. Wow. Well, I'll have to do that next time.
The hell you will.
I always say we paid to be violated, but it was in a good way.
It was amazing.
You need that sometimes.
Yes.
It was amazing.
It was.
Funny.
What was the question?
What
part were you most looking forward to?
I was really curious about Santorini too. I thought like just the shape of the island. I've never been on an island where as soon as you get off, you're looking at basically a rock cliff to go straight up on top where the actual towns were. So I was fascinated by that. I know we had seen all the videos about the cable cars or the donkeys, but I really thought that was going to be a strange experience, and it kind of was. Like I felt very tiny when we got off of our cruise ship, off the tender boat, and got right there on land, just kind of looking up. I really did enjoy Santorini, and I did 2 excursions that day, including the flying dress. So we had a great time. We had a great time.
Yes, absolutely.
And speaking of flying dresses, Veronica,
Santorini was my poor. When we announced Greece, all I saw was the blue domes, and I'm like, I'm going to do my flying dress. All I kept saying was, I'm doing my flying dress. So to me, Greece equals Santorini doing my flying dress, and the pictures are amazing. I got it back, and that was just like the only thing I dreamed I wanted to do was go to Greece, view out of those blue domes, and do my flying dress photo shoot. So that was Greece for me. I enjoyed my Turkish bath. I did. I enjoyed all the other ports that I can't still pronounce the names. But to me, Santorini will always have a place in my heart. I could see myself going there and staying on land there because it was a party town at night. Yeah. Like it was a whole vibe at night. Like we was almost late. That's a whole nother story. But it was party. It was late.
The last one, not just late. The last ones on the tender coming back over. They waited. They had to wait.
So
Literally
it
the
was
last two back on the ship also.
Santorini
Yeah.
was amazing, but I wish we could have stayed later and go to the clubs that was there, that was open, and people was partying. But I would definitely fly there and stay there for a week, hands
Yeah.
down. At all the ports, I could see myself staying in Santorini. It was such a beautiful place. Outside of doing my photo shoot, it was just such a beautiful place to visit.
Mhm.
The people, the culture, the food, everything
Yeah.
about that place I love.
But speaking of late, we actually had long port days. So that's something
Yep.
else to consider with your itinerary.
Yeah.
I think the first two ports were kind of shorter days, which was perfect because you had to, get used to that time change. But by the time we got to Santorini, I think we were in port like what, 7 or 8 a.m. until 11:30 or midnight. And then Mykonos, we were there till like 2 a.m. So long port days you can expect in Greece. What about you, Bill? What port were you most looking forward to?
Actually, it wasn't the port. It's where we. Well, I guess it is port, but where we started was Athens.
Mhm.
With all the history that they had in Athens, I'm so
Yes.
glad I went like a day early and going up to the Acropolis and seeing the Parthenon. I mean, all that history. I mean, this was one of the best trips I've ever taken. And Santorini was like just like bucket list, just because of the blue tops. I don't know about the flying dresses or anything. I don't. Do they have flying suits for men or something? But
If
I
they got
saw
a
some of the
flowy shirt.
I went right. I saw some of the preview pictures. They look amazing,
Mhm.
amazing. I see why
Yes.
everybody wanted to do it. I'm like, who wants to do it? Why are we going to do a flying dress? I see now. So I
Yeah,
would say
people keep
Athens
asking me
is
when
pretty
am
good.
I going to do one, and I'm like, me in a flying dress, I don't know,
You should
but
do
yeah,
it. It was
they
amazing.
look amazing when I see them. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
They
probably should
were.
have done that. Yeah, they were amazing. But welcome, man. We have 182 people watching. Appreciate you guys being here. We had a couple of super chats come through. So if you sent a super chat, it popped up real quick and it went away. But I think Marjorie, I think I saw one from you. I appreciate it. And maybe Maggie, I appreciate that. Is it Jean or Jean says, do you ever get sick from the different food you ate? So kind of talking about the food. What was your overall thoughts on the food? Let's kind of separate the cruise ship from ports because I think there might be different experiences there because the ship kind of had food based on wherever we were. So if we were in Turkey, it was more like Turkish style food. So the food overall, was it overrated? Because you hear a lot of things about Greece and Greek food. Did you find the food to be good or do you think it was overrated? And did you get sick? Did anyone get sick?
No.
No,
I
I
didn't.
didn't. I didn't get sick. I think the food was standard. I'm not the best at trying new things, so I tried to stick with stuff that looked like stuff I would normally eat. But I don't think it was anything like overly bad or good. Some of the breakfast choices, like the egg on top of the spinach or something, like some of the stuff was a little weird. I
Yeah.
did try a couple of traditional Greek things just to say I tried it, but I'm also not like a big foodie, so I'm fine with grabbing a piece of salmon and some rice. Although I stayed away from the chicken burgers and hot dogs. Like I don't feel like burgers should come from a chicken, but
Mhm.
I stayed away from stuff like that. But for the most part, the food was there was enough edible things for me. But I think it's just typical when you're trying to feed 1,000 people, the food is going to be like it's for 1,000 people.
Yeah. And some of it was good and some of it wasn't.
Yeah,
I actually felt like the food wasn't as good as when I first sailed at Celestial last year. So overall, I would say the quality went downhill quickly.
you know what?
Um,
It's funny for me was the sweets, and I have a sweet tooth. I love cakes and desserts. That stuff was so thick and so sweet. Like I didn't really eat any of the
Really?
dessert. I might have had a
Everything is
couple pieces
drenched in
of cake.
honey.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. And I was
Yes.
just like, I was over the dessert, so I would just have watermelon as my sweet treat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I,
And
go ahead.
the chicken burger was actually pretty good. I had one. It was actually pretty good. It was
It's a
better than
mind, it's a
any
mind
turkey
thing.
burgers that I ever had.
Raquel, you mentioned how we did the collaboration before the trip, and that was like our very first thing was trying Greek food because the three of us were not super adventurous eaters, but we
Mhm.
wanted to know what we were going to eat once we were there. So
Yeah, I enjoyed that collaboration.
Yes.
I did enjoy the food in Athens or in the ports more than on the ship. Everything was really fresh and tasty.
And seasoned.
And seasoned. Yeah.
Very seasoned.
Not
Yeah.
on the ship.
Right.
On the ship,
I
I'm not
agree.
gonna lie, the food was horrible. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I did not enjoy anything on the ship. I got tired of eating gyros. I was like, okay, I'm sick of eating. They had this gyro stand. I'm looking at this thing like another gyro. Okay, the food, I lived off plums, watermelon.
Watermelon.
For me personally, I enjoyed the food the last night, like a seafood night, and they had a lot of amazing food the last time. Like, where was this food all week long?
Yeah.
But a lot of food was cold. It wasn't like real warm. It's keep it warm, so it was like, okay, it may have been good, but it's now it's cold. I enjoyed breakfast was okay, but to me, I just left off watermelon, cucumbers, and gyros, and that was like my life on the ship. But I agree with you, Alisa. Off the ship, all the food was amazing.
Yes.
I love. I mean, I don't want to have another Greek salad or another gyro for no time the rest of this year.
I'm missing my Greek salad.
I am too. I love a
Greek
good
salad.
Greek salad. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Sapphire123, for that super chat. Appreciate that. But welcome into everybody that is here. And again, if you aren't subscribed to these four amazing channels, please head over to subscribe. We have Bill from Warmstrong Adventures, Life with V, Veronica, Edna's World, and Alisa's Adventures and Cruising. We're just talking about our Greece cruise that was part of our MH Family Adventures group cruise that we just got off of about a week and a half ago. So if you are interested in going to Greece and going with a group, we will be going back to Greece in 2027. So stay tuned. I will be announcing that cruise here in a little bit. But speaking of I guess groups, we can go into that. We talked food, we talked the ship, we talked port. Well, what was that?
About Bill? You didn't.
Oh, did I not?
Yeah, the food. Bill.
Oh, yeah, the
Oh.
food bill.
The food was okay. I mean, it was as V said, the food and the buffet was cold. The one thing I will say is dinner took forever. They stretched it out. Even going to the main dining room, it was like,
Oh my gosh,
two-
yes.
2.5 hours. It's time to go. So it
Mhm.
took forever. Food wasn't bad. I'm not a big foodie either. Only thing that stuck out in my mind as far as the buffet was the plates that they served the food on were so hot I couldn't hold the plate.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
were-
food might have been
Yeah.
cold,
Burning your fingers.
but the plate,
Yes.
I had to get like a napkin or something to
Yeah.
hold the plate.
That's true. That's true.
I guess it warms up the food a little bit, but
Yeah.
Warms up the
Oh,
cold
no.
food.
Yeah. You know what? I appreciated that they had the little soda station.
Yes.
Yes.
You can get
Yes.
sodas without
Yeah.
like needing a drink package or whatever. That
Yeah,
was-
so soda, house wine, and beer were available complimentary. That's included for
Right.
lunch and dinner. So yeah, that's nice. We have Satin Jazz Lady here. I'm not going to mention her legal name, but she was part of our group cruise. Appreciate it. I don't know. Sometimes you get aliases on YouTube, and I don't know if they want. Half the time, I don't know who you are, but I do
See,
know who
I
Satin Jazz Lady is, and enjoyed
I did
having
the same
you
thing with
part
Quill.
of our group. What's that?
I did the same thing. She came to my live the other day,
Uh-huh.
and I called her by that name, Satin Lady. And then later on, she told me her the actual name in the chat. But it was
Yeah.
like, well, I didn't know if you, I don't know. You could be
Yeah,
hiding-
half the time
hiding
I don't
somebody.
know. I have no clues behind these aliases, but I do know Satin Jazz Lady, and she was part of our group, and we appreciate all of your help, all your support, and
Yes.
just being part of our group. Just kind of scrolling through. Hello to everyone. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of scrolling through. We have a ton of comments here.
Well, as you look through the comments, we did have one issue with food on our end. Our son Andrew is a very particular eater. And I remember one time we asked for a hamburger and he got 2 beef patties that had spearmint and some other
Some herbs.
herbs that if it doesn't look like a McDonald's or a Wendy's
Yeah.
plain American burger, Andrew just doesn't. He's not going to eat lamb, so it was challenging,
Yeah.
but we got through it.
Yes. Keisha H asked a good question. She said, does Celestial provide a flight coordination program like some of the other cruise lines? They do not. And I'll be very honest. I did not book any flights for anyone that was part of this group. And I'm very transparent about that with anybody that books our agency. We do not book flights. There's multiple reasons behind that. And again, I'm always transparent. One, there's no commission. I mean, ultimately, I'm in this to get paid, truly. But there were some that I just helped provide recommendations like, hey, here are some options for you. I think in the very beginning, I shared some options from the major hubs for the group. So I shared that information. But as far as actually physically booking the flights, we just don't do that because again, don't get paid for it. Flights are a hot mess. We had quite a few people, including us, who had delays and cancellations. And so what happens is when you book through a travel agent, with flights, if there's a cancellation, delay, whatever, we have to contact the airline on your behalf. You can't go to the counter and handle it yourself. You can't call the line and handle it yourself. And it would have been a really big mess if I was on my flight and then the 3 or 4 that I know had delays or cancellations, I had to handle that. So for that reason, and because of how much I travel and cruise, we do not book flights. So I always put that out there. But Celestial does not have a flight program. But anyone that comes to me and says, hey, I'm just struggling trying to find flights, I'm always willing to give you some options that you can book on your own. I just won't physically book them because then I have to manage that flight for you. So that's the reason why. But let's see here, guys. Make sure you've given this video or this live stream a thumbs up. We would appreciate that. Let's see here. Was there anything about Greece that was overrated that you saw like on Instagram that you saw on other vlogs that you got there and you're like, this isn't what I thought it was?
I'll say Santorini. Santorini to me was like a one and done. You saw it, but when you got up there and you're just walking around like different aisles and just bars and shops, bars and shops, bars and shops, bars and shops, and the blue roofs were hard to find. I'm one and done. I think I'm pretty much Santorini'd out. I'm glad I did it. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad I did the cable car, but I think it's overrated a little bit. I mean, I think see it one time.
I would agree with you. I personally agree. I was in Santorini before. It's very crowded. It depends on when you go. It's definitely something you want to do, but that whole cable car situation, and guys, this is how bad I didn't like the cable car the last time. We did a skip the cable car tour. So we had, I don't know, maybe 20 or so of us from the group. We did a skip the cable car where we got into another boat that took us to the other side of the island, and then we took a bus up the mountain or up the hill or whatever you want to call it, because I didn't want to have to deal with that cable car. And so for me, it's beautiful, but I like Mykonos better than Santorini. So Mykonos stands out to me as a top. But was there anything else that was kind of overrated for you? Things that you saw it didn't live up to what you thought it would be?
Definitely not over. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Anna.
No, I was just saying nothing that I can think of that I was.
Nothing that I can think of that was overrated, but I was surprised by the landscape in general in Greece. I mean, obviously we know there's mountains and there was Mount Olympus and stuff. So I knew that there must be mountains, but it was very mountainous and very hilly. Like I don't know who said this to, but like I felt like we were walking uphill all the time, every direction. Going there and coming back, it was still uphill. I don't know how that was possible, but it was uphill walking every day. So that did surprise me how hilly it all is.
And that's a good point because I tell people that all the time, and I shared this because we had a few Zoom calls before this actual trip, and I just kind of talked about accessibility. If you require the use of a wheelchair, scooter, walker all the time, it can be challenging going to Greece. I mean, you could probably manage somewhat, but again, like Alisa said, up and down hills all the time. Like it can be rough, and it's very tight. Like I said, I feel like we just recovered from that trip because it was a lot of walking, a lot of movement, and you want to do it because there's so much to see and do. But if you're going to Greece, just make sure that either, I'm not going to say fit to do it because I'm clearly not fit to do it, but make sure that your expectations of things, because I feel like sometimes you tell them, hey, it's really not accessible or it's really not. And then you get there and you're disappointed because you can't do certain things because maybe you are in a wheelchair or scooter and the sidewalks are narrow or there's no sidewalks, there's cobble or there's, mountains or whatever. So do your research and plan accordingly if you do require some accessibility features. But Tammy was also part of our group cruise. She says the ship was beautiful and the staff was awesome. I can say our room is very comfortable and bigger than the new ship. Yeah, I think overall, I think the cabins were slightly bigger than some of
Yeah.
the newer ships. Like I just got off of Star of the Seas, and yeah, a lot of the ships. I felt like our cabin was a really nice size, a little older, a little dated, but it's also a 32-year-old ship, and this is a former Holland America ship. So to give you some context as to where it came from. My cruising family, welcome in, and welcome into everybody that is watching. I'm just kind of scrolling real quick.
While you do that, what I did like about our cabin was that I tend to work a lot, so the workspace on
Yeah.
the cabinet, I was able to set my computer up, my extra screen, and actually work.
Mhm.
And I don't get that with the new ships. It's usually too jam packed, too crowded.
Yeah.
So I did have some good workspace, but I did appreciate that.
Yeah.
But he didn't work much, so I was very proud that he didn't work much during the trip because I just knew it was going to be something, over there, and he's working and did great. So, Satin Jazz Lady said listening to the same announcement over in different languages was a bit much. Now, let me just say, make sure you understand, like that's going to be the case when you cruise abroad, regardless of the cruise line. And that's because it's a very, very diverse group of people over there. And so, yeah, some of the announcements would go on forever because they had to translate it. And I personally appreciate that because I like the fact that they're accommodating and that they're making sure that whatever languages are on board, they are speaking those languages so everyone can understand. But some people will be like, that's just a lie. It's too much going on. But remember, we're in their space.
Yeah.
So a lot, so we have to be mindful of that as well, because
Agreed.
I think we would be upset if we got there and they didn't speak any English. How was the language though? Because I think, Alisa, you talked about this in the live stream yesterday. What did you think about, were you surprised with the language or language barrier, or did you feel there was a barrier at all?
I did not feel that there was a language barrier. I mean, there were lots of other languages being spoken around us. And like you said, the announcements were long because they did translate into, I don't even know how many different languages. But as far as communicating with anyone in Greece, it was not a problem. I want to say everybody spoke English. If there was an older person who maybe wasn't as comfortable speaking English, they would always just kind of like grab their whoever, son, cousin, niece, whoever it was, to
Yeah.
come and finish the conversation with you. But very warm people, very inviting. They were happy to have us, happy to talk to us. I did not find it difficult at all to communicate with people.
And I think that's the case for pretty much most of us, right? Because something people don't realize is in Greece and other countries too, it's a requirement, like a school requirement, that English is learned. And I think because tourism is such a big part of their culture there, and they talked about that pretty much every port, like everywhere was like tourism is like a big thing. And so English, like if you go to Greece, you're not going to have to really use Google Translate or
Yeah.
anything. I think
Yeah.
my first time I downloaded it, had it ready, and never really had to ever use it. And I was pleasantly surprised. But you may not get that same thing if you go to like Italy or France. It'll be a lot different. So if you're someone who kind of struggles or not comfortable talking to or trying to be around people that don't speak any English, Greece is probably going to be a really good place to go because I mean, like we said, we had no issues at all with the language.
We just had a couple, like I think that's just our luck that we always run into just misfits everywhere we go. But Turkey was definitely a big language barrier. We was having trouble, and then when we were in, what was the first stop? Thessaloniki. Our cab driver, bless his soul, he was about to just take us to his house at one point because he didn't know what we were saying. we didn't know what he was saying. But that
was he older?
Huh?
Was he older?
No, we had two different drivers, like middle aged. The one guy was taking us to our excursion to that Skyline bar, and I don't know what miscommunication he had. He just dropped us off in the middle of nowhere, and then coming back, we like hailed a cab just on the street, and that poor man, I'm like, cruise ship, you know, cruise port, sand over, and he's just going around. It took us to an alley and was like, okay, get out. We like, no,
No.
like, what are you doing? Then he's like, oh, cruise ship. Like, that's what I've been saying for 20 minutes. We just riding around
Yeah.
in circles for like 20 minutes. The good thing is it was only like €4 though, because I was like, I think he just felt bad because he didn't know what we were trying to say. But other than that, everywhere else it was fine. But that's Saloniki. It was just like, what?
Just got lost.
I think that's just our luck of being who we are.
Did anybody use Google Maps? Sorry, did you have to use Google Maps at all? That's what I use a lot. I thought it was difficult, like in Athens. We're used to, I think everybody's in a city that's based on a grid system. Like it was difficult to find the little, what they call streets were alleyways to us.
Yeah.
Trying to navigate through that.
Yes.
And the signage wasn't very good.
Yeah, I was like,
there was
we
no
were
street
trying
signs.
to bar crawl. I was like, where's the
What
sign?
We have Sandra here. Sandra was part of our group cruise. Her and her husband Lloyd. Appreciate you guys being part of our group. And she says Santorini was beautiful.
Yes,
it certainly was.
Hold on, Sonia, Lloyd's wife, right? So Sonia, if you can hear me, Sandra, if you can hear me, can you tell Lloyd that he done caused some problems because now
we got a cooking schedule. Yes,
I'm having to cook a couple.
That's a whole sidebar. Because I got that. We were having a conversation and they were talking about how they cook on a schedule, and I'm like, oh yes, we got a schedule now. Thank you so much, Sandra and Lloyd. It was something I never thought to do, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
I need to have words with Lloyd.
Let's see here. We're going to wrap this up here in a few minutes because I know I told you guys 30 to 40 minutes, and Bill is currently on a cruise. So just kind of scrolling real quick to see if there's anything else. As far as the group, so we tried to, like with our group cruises, ours are like, I'm going to say no frills. We don't, our groups are pretty laid back. So participate if you want, don't participate. It doesn't bother us. We don't have like a whole bunch of like themes, and it's really about trying to give you the information. Let's go out, have fun, let's experience something new together, or do it on your own, what have you. What did you guys think overall as far as the group, like the group size, the group members? Like, is this a group that, and you can be honest with me, like comparing it to like other groups you've been on, is this the style of group you would like to see going abroad? Or just like, what did you think overall about the group? Were there enough activities? Would you have liked to see more activities? Or maybe that's a tough question.
I will say, being a person who hosts a lot of groups, and I'm the type of person that I just like to do all the things. So it was a little slower for me as far as group stuff. I will say I did miss having some more planned group things, but a lot of the people in the group, we all kind of still just gravitated toward each other anyway. So I was able to hang out with Miss Satin Lady. I got to do trivia with Tammy and Karen, which was so much fun. Hang out with Alisa and Erica at the bar and all those type of things. So I will say, for one part, it was a nice pace where it's like, oh, I can relax a little bit. But I definitely like more group things. But I think you all did a great job with talking to everybody. That's really big for me. Like, people are coming here to be with you, and you guys do really well. I want to say before we go that Ron is the MVP in my book, because I am a slow-natured person, and he made sure that me and him was the last in the line everywhere we went. Like, I just naturally walk slow, and he was always, I watched him always the last to get off the buses. He made sure everybody was in line. He made sure, I felt like he was counting heads a few times just to make sure we all was there. But
we can't lose no one
being in the back, he stayed back with me, and we had some lovely conversations until we got to meet up with everybody. So I felt that he did so great with that, and letting you lead the group to, above and beyond what we were doing, following you. But he just made sure everybody was good, taking the reins on that. But I think overall, it was such a great time.
It was.
And it forced me not to be like, okay, we got to be doing something at all times, because that's
Yeah.
just what I'm used to
Yeah.
as a group host, or the group. Maybe it's just the people I hang out with. They're all crazy, and we always just doing stuff. But
Yeah.
overall, it was nice not to be in charge of things like I usually am. So
Mhm. Yeah,
perfect.
and I appreciate that feedback, because I always explain to people, like, there are different and I think maybe we had this conversation when we were in
At the
Crete.
beach
Oh, I forgot
resort.
about Crete. Yeah, we were kind of talking about it,
Yeah.
that you have different styles of groups and different styles
Yeah.
of hosts and so I am just naturally more of that laid back, and it's not a bad thing, but setting those expectations and telling you this. So if you're watching and you plan to book Greece next year, just know, or for 2027, just know, first off, the way I see it is we're in a new place for most people. So I didn't want to overwhelm with a bunch of activities and things, because people want to get out and explore, and we were tired. But I also recognize that there are, so like we had our group dinner, we had, a couple of excursions. Some people joined us for other excursions, but I just don't like to overwhelm. But there are hosts for your style of cruising. There are groups for your style of groups. And so I appreciate sharing that, because not everyone wants to be in a group that's boom, boom, boom. We got themes
Right.
every night. We got
Yeah.
this
It was
every
a
night.
good
We got that.
balance.
That's
It
not a
was a
bad
good
thing.
balance.
I personally don't mind being part of that group. So like I don't mind going to one of your group cruises, Edna, or one of Veronica's, because I know you're going to have all kinds of activities and things. Because I personally need sometimes, to get out there, socialize, and be part of those activities. But for me, it's more, okay, we're going to do these excursions together. We're going to do this, maybe have dinner together. It's more of a quieter, laid back. So I'm sharing that. So if you decide to book our 2027 Greece cruise, expect it to be very similar. There's going to be
Yeah.
some group activities. You're going to get the information. But if you are looking for group activities every single day, all day long, that's just not our style. So
But
that's why I like to ask that question.
I'm gonna cut in for a second. One thing that my wife did say is that she doesn't mind joining those things.
Oh yeah.
So, for example,
I'm an introvert. So for me, hosting a whole bunch of that, like, that's tiring for me. It's just not, but I like to be a part of it. I just won't. It's just not my thing.
and I was going to finish until I was rudely interrupted, but that's okay. One thing, one thing that she did enjoy was Edna and Veronica's bar crawl, because she would not do that on her own.
Mhm.
So I
We
like
were
that.
tickled pink that she came and
Yeah.
rode with us into the wee hours of the morning.
Nice.
Yes.
It was an honor, and we got her to take some tequila shots, and
Yeah,
it was a great time.
it was. It really was.
Hold on a second, Edna. How many said tequila shots did she
The
take?
number doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
Wow.
It doesn't matter.
So I think that's what I loved about the group, that everyone has a different personality,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
everyone was able to partake in what they
Right.
wanted to.
Right.
Agree.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about it. It was a really good balance, and I can appreciate like the organization that you do. Some of the things I definitely was like telling Veronica, I was like, okay, we need to figure out how to do that, because that works really well with how you do things and all of that. And just the fact that we had those times in the Facebook group before the Zoom calls, I really like
Yes.
that you did the
I
Zoom
love
calls.
that.
So people got to kind of get to know each other a little bit. So by the time we got on the ship, everybody could do different things with everybody else, and it was
Agree.
great.
Yeah, and I take a lot of, whenever because I've been part of a few different groups. I haven't had a chance to get on one of yours, Edna, because yours is always like August, right around when school starts. But I hope to get on one of yours. But like I recall being on Veronica's for Carnival Horizon, and I was like, wow, it was like a well-oiled machine. She had people doing this person hosting that, and I'm like, I got to get me a team. I
Yeah,
gotta,
you definitely need a team. You got to put
So it's
people
like
to work.
you attend these groups and you learn different styles and different
Yes.
things. Just know, if you're with us, what you see, the laid back, That's what it is. So
It
it
was a
works
good,
for
it was a
some,
good
it
laid back.
doesn't work for others.
Yeah.
It was a great laid back.
Yeah,
It was a
awesome
great
laid
back.
back. It really
And I
was.
think with your group, Raquel, you guys are laid back, but you had a mixture of everybody within your group.
Yes.
I laughed and
Yeah.
talked with Deborah, the mother and daughter team for the Bahamas. I laughed and joked with
Yes.
them. Like it was so many different clusters of people
Mhm.
that
Yes.
you laid back, but the group wasn't laid back because I had fun with
Yeah.
every different body in
Yes.
their own little way. And that's what I loved about your group. Because yes, I'm a rah-rah turner, but I was able to turn up with certain people in your group at different times. The meet and greet was lit to us. Like just laughing just with people at the
Yes.
meet and greet, laughing, talking. Strangers at first became family after 7 days. So
Mhm.
that's what I love about your group.
Yeah.
It was just
And then when
diversity.
that music dropped, Raquel getting on the dance floor.
Yeah.
So there's your turn up. There's your turn up right there.
Yeah,
It's like, I gotta
absolutely.
catch up with her. Ice my knees down. I gotta go catch up with her on the dance floor. So it's like she ain't that introverted. Y'all don't believe her now.
That's what I said. I
Did
agree.
you have any first time cruisers on this trip?
We did, surprisingly. I think we had
Oh.
2, and I didn't realize it until they said it on, who was it? I think we had 2
I remember.
first time, and I didn't realize it because if they weren't the lead passenger, like whenever I do like the booking links and this and that, you know, sometimes those questions are asked. So a lot of times if you're the +1 or +2, it's not always asked. And so I learned that when we were on the trip that it was their first cruise. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, I didn't realize that, and that's what I was gonna say was I felt like everybody had their own cruising style, but blended in with the group at the same time. So your laid back was a great mix because people could do what they normally would like to do when they're on a cruise ship, but you did a great job of letting everybody know, like I think Anna was saying through the Facebook group chats of where you would be or where the group was going for dinner or what time, and then if you wanted to join in, you could, of course. We all were welcome, but some of those days we were just like wore out. Some of those days we
I
were,
know I was. I know
or
I was.
some days we found a comfortable spot and didn't want to move, and getting dressed for dinner wasn't happening. So
Right.
it was a good mix. It was a
I
good
think
Yeah,
the
mix.
first
I
2
thought
days
it
we
was a
slept
great
till 11
mix.
o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
I thought it was a great mix
Yeah.
because
And-
I'm more laid back. But when I wanted to be around people, I'm around people, and everybody's just having a great time. Only thing I miss, Edna and V, your bar crawl. Did you have any spelling involved? Because if I remember correctly,
No, so
I
it
went on
wasn't.
Margaritaville. We're doing a bar crawl,
Yeah.
and drinking,
I
and
just found
spelling
it,
was
and we all
involved.
went.
Not
You need to
this
come on Super Bowl and see if you want to do some work.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's already happening. I'm already
Yes.
planning. But so yeah, that was something I just found online, and I'm like, what, I just love to do it. So I was like, let's do it, and then I'll figure
was
it
fun,
out
yeah.
there. But you gotta come on either Groupcation or one of Veronica's if you want the official Edna's Bar Crawl.
Yes.
Where you gotta work.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta work.
I already got
Gotta work.
trophies. I got trophies for Super Bowl at sea. They're gonna be fabulous.
Yes.
Don't be late, people. Get there early and learn the rules. That's all I can
Early.
tell you.
Yeah.
It's gonna sell out.
I do have a question. Back on Greece, what was the one highlight from each of you guys? That
We talked about the highlights.
for me, the end highlight, and I'm not going to mention any particular names, but as we were exiting our rooms and getting into the elevator, all I heard was some person. Now I'm not going to mention any names. That person just said, "Not today, not today." Now I'm not going to mention no names,
Yeah.
but
She's short but
Oh,
mighty.
yes, but her initials are Veronica, but I ain't saying no names.
If I could give one highlight though, I think of everything, that Greek wedding show was fantastic.
Yes.
Me and Veronica are lovers of musicals and stage plays, and I saw something pop up on Facebook because once you discover something, once my phone knew I was going to Greece, all they was doing was throwing Greek things at me. And one of my favorite movies is My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And when I saw that they were doing that play, I was like, we got to figure out how to do it, where it is. and it was another one that was just so worth it. It was interactive. We almost missed the ship, but that's fine. We made it. But it
Everything's
was
fine.
amazing, and I think that's everything's fine. That probably is like so neck and neck with that Turkish bathhouse, but it was such a fun experience. We got to throw plates, and
It sounded like
you
fun.
know they gave us a souvenir plate that I wrote on so I can remember,
That's
and
cool.
it was just a wonderful experience. This whole trip was, and I'm glad that you posted it. And Veronica was like, "Oh, I booked us on this trip." I'm like, "Okay," but it was thanks to you guys. I got my map, and I was able to put new pins in my map from somewhere I've never been to.
I love it. I love it.
Big high five to both of you.
Yes, well, we appreciate you guys all being part of our group. We have Miss Jerry here. She says the cruise was top
Yay.
notch, and Miss Jerry was part of our group. And that's who one of the newbies, Miss Jackie, was with Miss Jerry. She was first time cruiser
Oh, wow.
on this sailing. So that was amazing. But yeah, it was a great time. Now, last question: Greece, would you do it again?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
In a
Yeah.
heartbeat.
Yes.
Absolutely yes.
Absolutely. Yep.
Absolutely
Find something
yes.
different to do.
Yeah, I
Well,
think Bill was saying earlier about how much there was to do in Athens, and we were there 2 days ahead of the cruise, but we could have used another day.
I
There was
agree.
definitely
Yeah,
so much.
Athens is great.
Easily.
I would fly
yeah,
there
There was so
love
much to
again.
Athens.
do. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Love
That was
Athens.
great.
Well, I appreciate you all, first off, being part of our group.
Yes.
It was amazing. And I am truly enjoying all of the content that's flowing and the content that flowed even before the cruise, because I totally didn't do anything before the cruise other than the vlogs from the last Greece trip. But you guys, I mean, with the collaborations and all of that was happening, it was amazing. And just watching the content roll out. So, guys, if you are watching and you are not subscribed to Elisa's Adventures in Cruising, Edna's World, Life with B, Warm Strong Adventures, please, please, please go over, watch vlogs, subscribe. You're gonna love it. We're all cruisers. You guys are here because you love cruise content, and they are cruisers, travelers, lifestyle vloggers. So go over and
Lots more
like,
cruises coming
subscribe,
up.
comments.
Yes.
Yes, and Edna, what group cruises do you have coming up? Because you have some.
That I'm hosting. I'm hosting my groupcation. That's next year, August 13th through the 20th of 2026, and that's on Norwegian Jewel, leaving from Philadelphia, going to Bermuda and Charleston, South Carolina. Veronica talked about her Super Bowl cruise. She is the host, but I will be on that. If you are interested in groupcation, you can reach out to Veronica. She is our travel agent, lifewithvtravels@gmail.com. I am also doing my bunnycation again. I do everything as a cation. I'm taking my grandchildren for
I love
Easter
it.
weekend on the Carnival Freedom next year. It's not a group cruise, but it is I'm going to be on the ship, so come sail with us for Easter. So that's also next year. That's what I have so far.
Thanksgiving.
Yes, we're doing Friendsgiving again this year on the Carnival Vista. So that's an 8-day, the week of
Okay.
Thanksgiving. And that's with JT, the original JT, and Dante, DC On Demand. So we will be on the Vista, and Veronica, Life with V, will all be on there together.
Nice. It's gonna be a good time.
It's going to be a great time.
And then Bill, you don't have any group cruises. You're just out there cruising all the time.
I'm just cruising.
He just in the
And
wind.
like I said, he's on a cruise ship right now, so I appreciate you taking time out of your cruise
That's
to
awesome.
chat with us. And
My
Elisa,
pleasure.
what's up with you? Any future travel
Well,
plans?
I mean, I guess I'm sticking with these ladies a little bit. I'm Super Bowl at sea and
I'll see you on board.
groupcation, and Carnival Cruise Addicts is doing the unhinged. I don't even know. It's got so many names to it. I think I'm on that as well. So a few groups coming up.
All right, and then Veronica, your Super Bowl at sea. Anything else?
I just got back yesterday from Mariner to Sea, my very first Royal cruise since my first cruise in 2011. That was amazing. I got loving football in February. I got Thanksgiving cruise this year, Bunny case, I'm gonna hop on. Group case, I'm gonna hop on, and I might be hopping on Greece in 2027 once this announcement come out. I don't
All
know.
right.
Right.
I got some
All
cases.
right.
Sorry, thought that was a given. Sorry.
Wait till this announcement come out. I might be hopping on another Greece trip in 2027. We don't know yet because we haven't heard the announcement yet. So I'm gonna
Yes,
say.
well, let's go ahead and announce it. And I did put a link in the chat if anybody wants to, anyone that's in the chat. We have M. Stewart, who was also part of our group. Says, I love all the content coming out, brings back good memories. We appreciate you joining us on board as well. So yeah, if you are part of the chat and you were part of our group, and if you want to hop in, feel free to click that link. I'll bring you on for a second. But we're going to go ahead and announce Greece 2027. Let's see if I can share my screen. I don't know if I can share my screen. So if you want to join us in Greece, now we do have a Sisters Cruising Abroad in 2026, June 2026. That is on our website. But if you want to join us in Greece, let me see if I can share my screen. This is, hold on. I don't know if I can share. Let's see. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, not this one. All right, here is our Greece for 2027. I don't know if it's showing.
Is it big enough?
Maybe, maybe not. Hold on. Can you guys see my screen?
No.
No. Okay, hold on. Let me stop sharing my screen. Oh, maybe because I have you guys all on the, I don't know. I'll just announce it and then I will put it on our social media. So we will be cruising June of 2027. Guys, we already have 9 cabins booked. And I haven't officially announced it. So this is going to sell out. And I put a poll out there asking, newer ship, itinerary, asking all these questions. Try to do something as budget conscious as possible. I could not find anything as cheap or as budget conscious as Celestial Journey. But we will be cruising on board, and I can't get this larger. Why is it not getting larger? On board Norwegian Gem, June 6th through the 13th of 2027. Now, if you follow me, you guys know Norwegian is not my favorite cruise line, but there's a reason why I selected this itinerary. I don't hate Norwegian. It's just not really my style, but I look at this itinerary as you're in a port every single day. There's not going to be much ship time. These are long port days, and there is literally a port every day. So this is port intensive. So part of the survey was, do you like port intensive or not? And some said, I'd rather have some sea days. There's no sea days. You can make your own sea day. Select a port or two that you may not want to get off in and make that a sea day. But we are cruising June 6th through the 13th. It's departing from Athens, Greece. I really love that Athens. So we're going to start our trip there in Greece. And it's a one-way cruise. So it will end in Italy.
Oh.
So, and I'll put all the details out there. So you're not only going to be able to go to Greece, you're going to be in Italy. But the ports are Santorini, Greece. Yeah, Santorini, Greece. Olympia, Greece. Corfu, Greece. Is it, how do you say it?
Oh,
I can't say it. It's Montenegro. Is it Kotor? I'll learn it. Split, Croatia, and Cooper, Slovenia. So you're getting Athens, Greece, Santorini, Olympia, Greece, Corfu, Greece, Montenegro, Split, Croatia, and is it Copper, Slovenia? The deposit,
and then going back,
and then you go
to Italy.
To Italy, so you end the cruise in Italy.
Rome.
This
another name you can't pronounce.
You guys will see it on the flyer. June 6th through the 13th of 2027. And we're going to try to keep the group size not too large. I enjoyed having the 42 that we had. I think we might keep this. We might go 60 for this one, maybe 70, but we're not going to have like hundreds of people. So if you are interested, we have limited cabins. I will put the information on social media after this live stream. The deposit is $125 per person. It is refundable until final payment, but I please ask you to only book if you are serious about going. We had This Greece trip started off with 100 people. And slowly, as final payment came for multiple different reasons, some people weren't serious from the beginning. Some people had financial things. I get it, but truly book, because it kind of, if you book a cabin and then we can't sell that cabin later because you cancel, it kind of limits the group or what have you. So book if you believe you're going to be serious about booking, and if you book and decide 2026, hey, I can't make it, we still have time to get others on board. But we do have limited cabins, $125 per person. The deposit, if you're interested, is due by November 8th. And you have all the way until February of 2027 to pay it off. So you have a year and a half or so to make payments on it. You can pay as little or as much as you want, as often as you want, to get it paid off. There's some perks involved, like onboard credit, $150 onboard credit per cabin. We have a group pre-cruise dinner in Athens, like we did last time. Some will have drinks included, Wi-Fi, all of that. And then if you use NCL's Cruise First program for your deposit, so when you reach out to get booked, I'm going to direct you on how to get their first Cruise First program deposit. So let's say you have 2 people in your cabin. The deposit would be $250. But if you go to the Cruise First website, you can purchase a deposit for $150 and you get $300. So that $300 will go to your cabin. So I'll put the pricing and all of that there. Now I will be previewing this cruise next year. So there will be content coming out for this exact itinerary. I am already booked. So expect it kind of be in the same process as Celestyal, where I went, experienced it, shared it, and now you're traveling with me. It's going to be the same thing. So plenty of ports. It's going to be a great time. Norwegian Gem, June 6th through the 13th, 2027. So
Now, I do have a question, guys. What about the size? Did you appreciate or like the size of under 50, or do you think we could take it to 75, or was that the sweet spot?
That was a sweet spot.
I think it was I think it was really comfortable. And just for us who did go on the excursions with you, like how you managed to get those vans, they were just like perfect for getting around. So I don't know if that would apply in a future trip, but it was comfortable. It was comfortable, and we got to actually talk to each other and meet each other and interact. I think it was a good size group.
I agree.
I think you guys are so well organized. You could go a little bit higher. And it would still work, because everybody is not going to take all the excursions and you break off into your little groups and things like that. I think you could do 60 probably.
That's what I'm thinking. I just don't think I'd want 100.
Yeah, no.
I'd like the age demographics that we attracted, because it's more in line with us. I also like the number because I got to know each one of the people, and I'm still going to talk to Lloyd about this cooking stuff, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that day 1 we were strangers, day 7 I still got to talk to Lloyd. But that's a different conversation. But I do appreciate getting to know people.
Yes, it was
like
awesome.
that.
Nia has a question. She says, can we still get the military discount? Yes, you can. So if you are military, if you're an educator, all of those discounts can be stacked with our group rate. And the pricing is higher than what we paid for Celestyal Journey. But if you look online, we do have an amazing group rate, which is discounted from what you'll get online, but you can add the military discount and all of that to it. So this is Norwegian Gem. So yeah, I'm going to put that on social media right after this chat. So feel free to reach out if you are interested in getting booked. I won't be booking you tonight, but fill out the form and I will follow up with you. But again, I appreciate you guys being with us in Greece. And being part of this live stream, and everyone that was watching, whether you came over from JT or from one of the other channels, or if you're part of our MH fam, we appreciate you all being here tonight. So we can talk about Greece, but make sure you're following these amazing channels, because they're going to have more Greece content coming out probably quicker than me because I'm just this editing lately. It just hasn't been my thing. But make sure you follow to get all of the Greece information to see from different perspectives, because that's the cool thing is I have one perspective of ports and the ship, and then you hear it from others. And I like to share the good, bad, ugly, everything. And so it's really nice to hear it from others, their experience, what have you. So yeah, so appreciate you guys being here.
Can I add one more thing? So Edna,
Yes.
you had mentioned that I was hanging back and keeping you company, and
Yes.
there's an underlying reason for that. My wife walks too damn fast.
Yeah.
So,
I told Veronica that I said as long as I could see where if one person turned left or right, whoever was last, I was like, okay, it went left. I'm eventually going to get there. Yes, I was like, I'm gonna get there eventually. So I appreciated that walking back, walking back with me, because even Veronica, with her little short legs, she walked fast, and I was like, I'll meet y'all there. Just give me the address. I'm put on my GPS.
yes. So now you understand the real reason behind me keeping up.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it. She's like, oh, it's just a couple blocks. I'm like, in what language is her couple blocks?
But this has been great. And Big Murph just kind of wrapped it up for us. He said we need to have another chit chat with this group. And it might happen in Greece 2027. It might happen Friendcation or a Super Bowl at sea. And then if Bill decides to have a group, or Alisa, I'm sure we'll be together again soon. So again, we appreciate.
Before you sign off, Raquel, though, you're thanking us for being here and for joining the group. Thank you, seriously, both you guys, for all the effort, for all the planning, for all the guidance along the way. It was a fantastic trip, and obviously we're already looking for 27. So thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Well, we appreciate it. And everyone tuning in, hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And to those of you who joined us, Alisa's Adventures in Cruising, Edna's World, Warm Strong Adventures, and Life with V. We appreciate you. We love you guys. And thank you so much for joining us in Greece. And we will see everyone else Monday midday cruise tuning. But just hearts.
Yeah, I'm like, how is he doing that? Then hearts pop up.
Oh,
Bill?
Yeah.
Well, what do you have, Bill?
It's a Mac thing or Apple thing.
I have to figure that out for next time. But appreciate you guys being here. You guys have a wonderful night and have a great week. And thanks for being here.
Bye.
See you guys later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks.